Okay, moving on to the Glock 19. Pretty much more or less the same as the 26 with just a couple major modifications. I run the same sights, the worn rear. This one doesn't have a tritium insert, but I'm probably going to paint it yellow or red, so it still has that good contrast in it. The same rear, and the grip was reduced and stippled. You see, he took out the hump and he took out the finger grooves and he stippled it. The medium roughness kind of pattern, not too rough, but not too not rough. And my buddy did this. He does these professionally on the side, and he does a wonderful job. And I can't highly recommend him. He also did the undercut and the rounding of the trigger guard, which actually helps me out a lot when I don't have the light on the gun to shoot without the light. But he did the undercut, and he also scalloped around the magazine release. And then because he took off so much material from the back strap portion, he had to use marine epoxy to fill in the grip plug hole all the way up. So that way if it crumbles, it won't, because it has, has that marine epoxy in there. But if you ever do a major modification like this, I highly recommend not doing a backyard job yourself unless you're really competent, because if you take too much and you crack your frame, then you're done. Once your frame's cracked, it's done. You are introducing heat into the weapon, so definitely have somebody that knows what they're doing. Moving up, the only other part that I replaced that isn't factory is the magazine release. It's a Victor's Tactical. I just wanted to try it out. I don't really think it does anything, to be honest. It adds like a 1/16 of an inch to the overall length of it, but other than that, it really doesn't do a whole lot. Factory trigger, factory barrel, factory guide rod and spring. All my guns, usually I carry all my guns with combat and concealed carry. I carry them with X300s. I don't have an X300U yet, because I really don't want to have to replace all my holsters, all my concealed carry holsters for it, because it will not fit. You have to, if you have a Kydex or a leather holster, you got to get it fitted. So that's the main reason why I haven't made the big switch. I might buy one and just run it whenever I run them in my Safariland 6004s, because they'll still fit, because there's enough room in that holster to fit the slightly larger head of the 6004. So nothing major. Stock trigger, stock barrel, guide rod. And then moving on to the 34. The 34, same thing. My buddy removed the finger grooves, did a medium stippling job on it. He reduced it a little bit in the back, but not so much, because as you see, I just have a grip plug in there right now. There's no marine epoxy in there. It's just, right now it just has a grip plug, and he couldn't take too much because we didn't want to structurally compromise the frame. So he did as much as he could without ruining the piece. Later, this one might get a grip force adapter to completely take off that hump and give me a little bit extra purchase on the beaver tail. I've never shot with a grip force adapter. I've held some of my friends' guns. I think they're good, especially on a factory Glocks setup. So that'll probably be the next purchase for this. Other than that, the other thing, the reason why it's not stippled all the way to the bottom of the frame is because this is it was sporting JP Enterprises extended magazine well. That piece is good. It's heavy duty. The thing feels like it weighs a pound alone. It's solid steel. But soon I'm hoping to get the Sentinel Designs magazine well. It looks like a really low-profile, neat piece. Same thing, undercut on the trigger guard, the rounded trigger guard. Still running a factory barrel and trigger setup in this gun. The only thing that is not factory is the guide rod. The guide rod and guide rod spring are a Springco unit, stainless steel. It was extremely tight and extremely hard to get in